Hello explorers, it's that time again. It's Advent of Code, finally! And as normal, you can join the channel as a Christmas explorer and see all the uncut content before I publish any video. Day 6, wait for it. The ferry quickly brings you across to Island. After asking around, you discover that there is indeed a normal large pile of sand somewhere near here, but you don't see anything besides a lot of water and the small island where the ferry was docked. As you try to figure out what to do next, you notice a poster on the wall near the ferry docks. Boat races. Open to the public. Grand prize is an all expenses paid trip to Desert Island. That must be where the sand comes from. Best of all, the boat races are starting in just a few minutes. And you managed to sign up as a competitor in the boat races just in time as the organizer explains that it's not really a traditional race. Instead, you will get a fixed amount of time during which your boat has to travel as far as it can. And you win if your boat goes the farthest. Okay. As a part of signing up, you get a sheet of paper, your puzzle input, and a list of time allowed. For each race, you also get the best distance ever recorded in that race. To guarantee you win the grand prize, you need to make sure you go further in each race than the current record holder. The organizer brings you over to the area where the boat races are held, and the boats are much smaller than you expected. They're actually toy boats, each with a big button on top. Holding down the button charges boat, and releasing the button allows the boat to move. Boats move faster if the button is held longer, but time spent holding the button counts against the total race time. You can hold the button only hold the button at the start of the race, and the boats don't move until the button is released. For example, time 7:15:30, distance 9:40 200. The document describes 3 races. The first race lasts 7 milliseconds. The distance in this race is 9 millimeters. The second race lasts 15 milliseconds. The record distance in this race is 40 millimeters. The third race lasts 30 milliseconds, and the record distance in this race is 200 milliseconds. Your toy boat has a starting speed of 0 millimeters per millisecond. For each whole millisecond you spend at the beginning of the race holding down the button, the boat speed increases by 1 millimeter per millisecond. So because the first race lasts 7 milliseconds, you only have a few options. Don't hold the button at all. That is, hold for 0 milliseconds at the start of the race and the boat don't move. It will have traveled 0 milliseconds by the end of the race. Hold down 1 millisecond and the start of the race, and then hold per millisecond for 6 milliseconds. At the start of the race, then the boat will travel at the speed of 1 millimeter per millisecond for 6 milliseconds, reaching a total distance of 6 millimeters. So hold down the button for 2 milliseconds and the boat will speed off in 2 milliseconds per millisecond, and it gets 5 milliseconds to move, reaching a total distance of 10 milliseconds. Hold down the button for 3 milliseconds. After the remaining 4 milliseconds of travel time, the boat will have gone 12 milliseconds. Okay. Hold down the button for 4 milliseconds. After this remaining 3 milliseconds of travel time, the boat will have gone 12 milliseconds. 5, 10, 6, 6, 7. That's the entire duration of the race. You never get to go with the button. The boat can't move until you let go of the button. Please make sure you let go of the button so the boat gets to move 0 milliseconds. Since your current record for this race is 9 millimeters, there are actually 4 different ways you could win. You could hold the button for 2 milliseconds, yes, and you can hold it for 3, 4, and 5 milliseconds at the start of the race. In the second race, you could hold the button for 4 milliseconds and at most 11 milliseconds and beat the record, a total of 8 different ways to win. In the third race, you could hold the button for 11 milliseconds and no more than 19 milliseconds and still beat the record, a total of 9 ways to win. To see how much margin of error you have, determine the number of ways you can beat the record in each race in this example. If you multiply these values, you get 288, 489. Determine the number of ways you could beat the record in the race. What do you get if you multiply these numbers together? In the third race, could hold the button for at least 11 milliseconds and have no more than 90 milliseconds and still beat the record, a total of 9 ways to win. So let's not make this into a parsing exercise, because it's not really the problem that we want to solve here. We want to have a function where we have number of times to beats, and we have the value, the time, and the record. What? Can't I create that? Public static void int number of times to beat. Like that. Int time, int record. Like that. So first time is 7 and the record is 9. Like that. Then we have 15 and 30. 9, 40, 200. Well, let's print out. Let's print them for each of these. Let's go from 0 until time So, if we hold it for 1 millisecond at the start of the race, then we would go for 1 millisecond. If we hold it for 2, it will go 2. Hold it 3, it will go 3 milliseconds. Okay. So I guess it's just I times time left and time left is equal to time minus I. If this is larger than record, then we will call that a win. And return that. Could that be it? 489. 489. Okay. Let's just do times here. Yes. And if we do the same down here, we start over. So we have 40, 215, 70, 151, 98, 2047, and 79, 1005. So then the result would be 1,000,008 something, 84. Let's try that. Yes, you get a gold star. I get a gold star. Everybody gets a gold star. So I guess the second part will be harder. This video series is sponsored, so for all your hosting needs, go to DigitalOcean. If you want to learn something new this Christmas, then you can go to Coursera, take any of those 7,000 courses over there, or follow along with the simple Java course that I provided as well. And if you want to give your kids something really great for Christmas this year, you can give them a one-on-one course with a Code Combat trainer in order to learn coding. All the links can be found in the video description. As the race is about to start, you realize the piece of paper with the race times and record distances you got earlier actually just has a very bad kerning. There really is only one race, ignoring the spaces between the numbers on each line. So, for example, is now means time distance. Now you have to figure out how many ways there are to win a single race. In this example, the race lasts for, and the distance you need to beat is in millimeters. You hold down the bottom from 14 to, and beat the record a total of that many ways. Okay. So this is gonna take a while, I guess. So if we run that, yeah. we got the right result. Now we only need to put all these together. I thought it looked weird when I saw it. So now we are talking really large numbers here. So this is no longer valid. So we need to do a big int. Zero. Win. And big int 1. Like that. Could we hold it in a long? No. This is longer than a long. It's the big int there. So the record is a big int, and this is a big int as well. So big integer. Time left is equal to new big integer time minus I. Value of, so that is fine. So now we have time left, and we need to do time left multiply with I. And maybe the number of wins could be in a long at least. Let's hope for that. So let's see. Let's try that. Big integer value of that. And we can do new big integer. Just have it like this. So we create a big integer from a string. Like that. So we run that. Turn along. Long. I got 70. Okay. So if we do it the other way around, we get the larger value. Yes. So that might be the right answer. Let's go for it. Yes! You get a gold star. I get a gold star. Everybody gets a gold star. So today wasn't that hard. We just needed to work with really large numbers. So in the second example here, what we did was pretty much what they said. Squeeze the numbers together, so we got a larger time and a larger win. and the same goes for the second example here. And our number times to beat takes a time and a record, which needs to be a big integer because it's going to be a really big number. We will count the wins as a long and return it down here, and we only count it if the time left multiplied by I is compared to the record larger. So we count that as a win. The big integer here is just a way of getting the value of time minus I. That's the time left. So it's pretty readable code. So and anyway, the only thing is that we use this class big integer, which it's a really cool one in Java where you can have huge numbers. It's not the most efficient one, but it can handle very, 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 very large numbers. So this was today's video. I hope that you liked this video. Give it a like, share it with your friends and colleagues. If you want me to see your solution, put it in the comment section down below. Or if you have any comments or suggestions, leave it there as well. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, please do that. And I really hope to see you in the next video.